Today, I'm going to walk you through something that will completely change your marketing strategy, and this is identifying content themes designed to move leads strategically through your sales funnel. So I'm sure you all know the phrase that content is king. Well, content isn't just king, it's the entire kingdom. Yet so many businesses struggle with the same fundamental challenges. They create great content that somehow fails to convert. They see promising leads drop off at various stages without understanding why. And despite investing significant resources in content creation, the return on investment remains frustratingly low. If you've ever felt frustrated by fragmented customer journeys, disappointingly low conversion rates, or struggling to nurture leads effectively, this video is specifically for you. The problem isn't necessarily the quality of your content, it's how strategically that content is deployed throughout the buyer journey. Most companies approach content marketing as a volume game, believing that more content equals more leads. But that's like fishing with a massive net that has holes in it. You might catch some fish, but you'll lose many more. What you need instead is a carefully designed content strategy that guides prospects from initial awareness all the way through to post-purchase and beyond. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to create a cohesive content experience that transforms casual visitors into loyal brand advocates. You'll learn exactly what content types work best for each stage of the funnel and how to measure their effectiveness and how to avoid the common pitfalls that derail even experienced marketers. This isn't about trendy tactics that will be obsolete next quarter. We're diving into fundamental psychological principles that drive purchase decisions. Principles that remain constant even as platforms and algorithms change. Let's dive in. Before discussing specific themes, let's clarify the concept of a content funnel. The concept is often misunderstood. Simply put, a content funnel is a strategic framework that mirrors a buyer's journey from awareness to consideration and to final decision. At each stage, your content answers specific questions, resolves hesitations, and inspires the next action. Think of it as a guided tour that leads prospects through their own decision-making process with your brand as the trusted guide. The traditional marketing funnel has been around since the late 19th century. Sounds so long ago, but its application to digital content is relatively recent. And it's revolutionary because it acknowledges that purchasing isn't a single event, it's a process that unfolds over time with distinct psychological phrases that require different approaches. So, why is this approach so important? Well, there are several compelling reasons. First, it prevents wasted resources by ensuring your content directly addresses your audience's needs at each stage. Without this framework, you might create beautiful content that simply arrives at the wrong time, addressing questions your clients or your audience isn't even asking yet. That's like serving dessert before the appetizer. It may be delicious, but the timing is off. Second, a strategic content funnel builds your brand's authority through consistent value delivery. Rather than random acts of content, you're demonstrating a deep understanding of your client's journey, positioning yourself as the guide who can lead them to success. Third, and most importantly, it builds an emotional connection that encourages repeat engagement and referrals. By meeting prospects exactly where they are in their journey, you create moments of genuine connection that transactional marketing simply cannot achieve. Each stage of the funnel triggers different psychological responses, and understanding these responses is crucial to creating effective content. At the awareness stage, we're tapping into curiosity and problem recognition, those aha moments where someone realizes they have a challenge that needs solving. During the consideration stage, we're building trust and providing validation, helping prospects feel confident they're exploring the right solution. And at the decision stage, we're instilling confidence and creating a sense of urgency that transforms intention into action. The most successful content marketers understand that these psychological triggers are far more powerful than any feature or benefit list or discount that you may offer. So when your content aligns with your prospect's internal dialogue at each stage, conversion becomes a natural next step rather than a hard-fought sales battle. Now let's explore exactly what content types work best at each stage of the journey, starting at the very top of the funnel, which is the awareness stage. Top of the funnel content themes. Your goal here is to attract and educate a broad audience who may not even know they have a problem you can solve, or who are just beginning to realize that they have a challenge, that there is a problem. This stage is all about casting a wide net, but doing so with intention. You're looking at attracting the right kind of attention from the right kind of prospects, and that requires content that resonates with the early stage concerns and questions. Educational content works incredibly well here. Think blogs and articles, infographics, and podcasts that address industry trends or common pain points. How-to guides are also really effective, so something like 5 signs your business needs a CRM can help prospects identify their challenges. The key is to focus on the problem and not your solution. At this stage, prospects aren't looking for your products. They're looking for information that helps them understand their situation better. I worked with a SaaS company last year that completely transformed their top-of-funnel strategy by shifting from product-focused content to problem-focused content. Instead of talking about their software features, they created a series of industry reports that highlighted the challenges their target audience faces. Within 3 months, their organic traffic increased by 28% and their email list grew by 54%. The content wasn't technically difficult to create, it simply aligned perfectly with the awareness stage. Now don't forget to optimize this content for SEO, targeting information keywords like what is or how to that capture early stage searches. According to research by Ahrefs, informational keywords make up approximately 80% of all search queries, yet many businesses focus exclusively on transactional keywords. That's a massive missed opportunity for top-of-funnel engagement. Also, you want to use attention-grabbing tactics that stop the scroll in a crowded feed. So think of LinkedIn. There's plenty of articles and posts going up. You want to stop that scroll. Viral social media content, whether it's short reels, memes, or interactive polls, can dramatically expand your reach. So don't be afraid of proactive headlines like "Why Most Marketing Strategies Fail." These create immediate interest and drive clicks provided they deliver on their promise with genuine, valuable insights. Interactive content platforms particularly work well at this stage. One marketing agency I know created a simple marketing maturity assessment. It's a quiz that they generated, and it generated for them over 6,000 leads in their first month. The quiz took less than 2 minutes to complete, but provided personal insights that immediately demonstrated value and positioned that agency as knowledgeable. Storytelling is another powerful tool at this stage. Share your brand's origin story, feature authentic users' experiences, or create emotional narratives around challenges your customers have overcome with your help. According to research from Stanford University, stories are up to 22 times more likely to be memorable than facts alone. They create connection in a way that features and benefits simply cannot. Best top-of-the-funnel content doesn't feel like marketing at all. It feels like a helpful resource or an interesting perspective that just happens to come from your brand. It should be generous with insights, light on promotional language, and intentionally compiled to make people or prospects think that these people get it, they understand my challenges. Remember that at this stage, your content should be easily digestible and widely shareable. Dense white papers or technical specifications belong later on in the funnel, in the sales funnel. So right now, you want content that can travel easily across platforms and introduce your brand to prospects who have never encountered you before. And while top of the funnel content may seem removed from direct sales, its impact on your overall conversion rates can be dramatic. One study by Aberdeen Group found that companies with strong top-of-funnel content saw a 33% higher revenue growth than those focused exclusively on bottom-of-funnel conversion tactics. Middle-of-the-funnel themes. Once you've captured the attention, your job becomes more nuanced. Now you need to nurture those engaged leads and clearly differentiate yourself from competitors. This is the consideration stage where prospects know they have a problem and they are actively evaluating potential solutions, and this may be you. The middle of the funnel is where many content strategies fall apart. Companies invest heavily in awareness content that attract leads, then immediately try to convert them with sales-focused messaging, completely skipping the crucial consideration stage. It's like proposing marriage on the first date. Even if the chemistry is there, the timing is all wrong. Your content here should go deeper than your awareness stage content. Webinars and workshops that dive into product benefits or industry insights work exceptionally well at this stage. They give you extended time with prospects and allow for more complex discussions that wouldn't fit in a long blog post or a social media update. Email courses like 7 Days to Better SEO deliver actionable tips while keeping your brand top of mind over several days or weeks. This extended engagement builds both familiarity and trust. In fact, according to Campaign Monitor, email marketing delivers an average return of investment of $42 for every $1 spent, making it the most effective channel for middle of funnel nurturing. Data-driven white papers or reports demonstrate your expertise and authority while providing genuine value. One company I consult with created an industry benchmark report that became their highest converting lead magnet, with 68% of downloads moving further down the funnel within 30 days. The report took considerable effort to produce, but its conversion impact justified the investment many times over. This is also the perfect time for comparisons and case studies, side-by-side breakdowns of features and pricing that helps prospects evaluate options in a format that favors your strengths. Be careful here. Transparent, honest comparisons build trust, while overly biased or misleading comparisons can damage credibility permanently. Next, case studies, whether video testimonials, written success stories, or return on investment summaries, show your solution in action for businesses similar to your prospects. They answer the critical questions like, will this work for someone like me? According to a study by Demand Gen Report, 78% of B2B buyers use case studies when researching purchases. The most effective case studies follow a clear problem-solution result format that helps prospects envision similar outcomes for themselves. Next, interactive demos deserve a special mention here. Today's buyers want to explore products on their own terms before engaging with sales. A SaaS platform I worked with saw a 32% increase in qualified leads after implementing an interactive product tour that let prospects experience key features without creating an account, and this made closing far easier. Now, don't avoid objections at this stage. Address them head on. Create dedicated frequently asked question pages or videos tackling common concerns. Host live Q&A sessions on social media or during webinars where prospects can ask their most pressing questions. And consider building return on investment calculators that allow prospects to quantify potential savings or earnings with your solution. Remember that middle of funnel content should balance educational value with subtle positioning. You are not hard selling yet, but you are deliberately highlighting what makes your approach different and better. This is where your unique methodology, proprietary process, or distinctive philosophy should shine through. For service businesses, thought leadership content becomes particularly valuable at this stage. Original research, contrarian perspectives, or unique framework positions you as not just another provider, but as a true expert with a distinctive point of view. According to Elderman's research, 63% of decision makers say thought leadership is important in assessing the caliber of an organization they're considering working with. This is where knowing and building your topical authority kicks in. Topical authority is the level of trust an expert or business or content creator earns from consistently producing high quality, in-depth content around a specific subject or niche. It signals to search engines and audiences that you are a go-to resource on that topic. Now, moving on to the consideration stage. This is also where segmentation becomes crucial. Different prospect types may have different objections or priorities. Creating content pathways that address these specific concerns rather than treating all leads the same. One marketing automation company I know created separate consideration stages content tracks for marketing directors versus CMOs, acknowledging their different priorities and approval processes. This targeted approach increased their sales call booking by 43%, and because they were speaking in a language that resonated directly with the ICP, the sales close ratio has continued to increase. Bottom of the funnel themes. Now we reach the decision stage, where your goal is to convert those hesitant leads into customers. These prospects understand their problems, they have evaluated various solutions, and are seriously considering your offer. But there's often a funnel psychological hurdle, the fear of making the wrong decision. Bottom of the funnel content addresses this fear by reducing perceived risk and creating a sense of urgency. It transforms interest into action by making the purchase decision feel both safe and time sensitive. Social proof becomes critical here. Video testimonials that highlight before and after results are incredibly persuasive because they provide authentic evidence from peers. According to Nielsen's research, 92% of consumers trust peer recommendations over traditional advertising. Testimonials work best when they're specific, results-focused, and come from customers who resemble your targeted prospect. Trust badges, certifications, awards, and media mentions reduce perceived risk by associating a brand with recognized authorities. Even simple elements like security seals can significantly impact conversion rates. One study by Actual Insights found that 61% of consumers have cancelled a purchase because trust logos were missing. Case study videos that walk through the entire problem-solving process help prospects envision their own success story. Unlike consideration stage case studies that might cover multiple customers' examples briefly, decision stage case studies should dive deep into a single customer journey, addressing specific objections your prospect might have. Risk-free trials address the final barriers to purchase by letting prospects experience value before they fully commit. Offer personalized demos tailored to the prospect's specific industry or pain points. The key word here is personalized. Generic demos rarely convert well at this stage. Consider freemium models that let users experience core features before paying for advanced functionality. This approach has revolutionized SaaS pricing models because it reduces adoption friction while creating natural upsell opportunities. One-on-one consultation offers build rapport while showcasing your expertise. They also provide valuable intelligence about prospects' needs and can inform your closing strategy. According to Rain Group, 71% of B2B buyers want to speak with salespeople early in the buying process, but only when those conversations deliver new insights rather than pushy sales tactics. Urgency-driven offers can tip the scales for prospects who are almost ready to buy but need a final nudge. Limited time discounts like 24-hour flash sales or early bird pricing create immediate action by introducing time constraints. Exclusive bonuses for first-time buyers add value without reducing your base price, preserving both margin and perceived value. And scarcity tactics like countdown timers or low stock alerts tap into the powerful fear of missing out. But a word of caution, artificial urgency that isn't genuine will damage trust rather than build it. If your limited time offer has been running continuously for 6 months, savvy consumers will notice and question your authenticity in other areas as well. Decision stage content should also address implementation concerns. Many prospects worry about the transition process and ask questions like, how difficult will it be to switch from their current solution to yours? Creating onboarding roadmaps, migration guides, or implementation timelines show that you've thought through these challenges and have a clear plan to manage them. For complex or high-ticket offerings, return on investment justification tools become essential. Help prospects make the business case internally with calculation tools, pitch decks, or implementation timelines that they can share with other stakeholders in their business. According to Gartner, the average B2B buying decision now involves 6 to 10 decision makers. So equipping your champion with persuasive materials can dramatically increase those closing rates. Bottom of the line funnel content should feel personal, urgent, and reassuring all at once. It acknowledges that change involves risk while providing concrete evidence that the risk is worth taking. When done effectively, it creates a bridge between interest and action that prospects feel confident crossing. Creating a consistent content flow. To make this framework truly effective, you need 3 elements working together in harmony: a detailed buyer persona, clear calls to action, and a structured content calendar. First, develop a detailed buyer persona based on real data and not just assumptions. This is perhaps the most important skip step in a content marketing strategy, yet it is arguably the most important. Many companies create generic personas that don't provide actionable insights for content creation. To avoid this pitfall, conduct surveys, interviews, and analytics reviews to identify demographic details, pain points, goals, and content preferences. For example, you might create a persona like Sarah, a small business owner struggling with cash flow management who prefers practical video tutorials over long form text, and makes most business decisions based on recommendations from her professional network. This level of specificity guides not just what you create, the content you create, but how you format it and where you distribute it. One healthcare technology company I work with discovered through customer interviews that their primary buyer persona weren't actually C-suite executives they were targeting, but rather the implementation managers who would be responsible for rolling out the solutions. This insight completely changed their content strategy, leading to a 38% increase in qualified leads within 1 quarter. Second, write clear call to actions appropriate for each funnel stage. Many content pieces fall short not because the content itself is poor, but because the next step isn't obvious to the reader or to the viewer. At the awareness stage, use low commitment CTAs like download our free guide or subscribe for tips, our weekly tips. These ask for minimal investment while providing clear value. During the consideration stage, try slightly higher commitment calls like book a free audit or join our webinar or our workshop. These call to actions acknowledge the prospect's increased interest while still focusing on value provision rather than sales. And at the decision stage, focus on action-orientated CTAs like start your 14-day free trial or schedule your consultation. Be direct about the next steps while continuing to emphasize value and low risk. According to WordStream, personalized CTAs convert 202% better than organic ones, so consider dynamically changing your CTAs based on visitor behavior or source. Third, maintain a consistent content calendar that plans themes around seasonal trends, product launches, or industry events. Ad hoc content creation rarely produces a cohesive funnel experience. Instead, map out your core themes quarterly, ensuring balanced coverage across all funnel stages. Look for opportunities to repurpose top-performing content across different formats, turning a popular blog into a video, then an infographic, and select other content formats that your clients will use and repurpose top-performing content. This approach maximizes the value of your best ideas while accommodating different learning preferences. According to research by Orbit Media, content marketers who repurpose content are 2.8 times more likely to report strong results. Create theme clusters rather than isolated content pieces, and this will improve both SEO performance and funnel effectiveness. Here's an example. Rather than just publishing a single blog about email marketing, create a comprehensive resource center with guides for beginners, case studies for consideration stage prospects, and implementation checklists for decision stage leads. This approach signals topical authority to search engines while providing a clear pathway for prospects at different funnel stages. A content management system or a CMS system with robust tagging capabilities can help you track content by funnel stage, persona, and topic while making it easier to identify gaps or opportunities. Now, you must consider regular content audits. I recommend quarterly to help you identify which pieces are performing well at each funnel stage and which need refreshing or replacement. Remember that your content funnel should be designed for both breadth and depth. Breadth ensures you're capturing a wide audience at the top of the funnel, and depth provides the detailed information needed for prospects to move closer to the purchase. Without significant breadth, your pipeline will run dry, and without significant depth, leads will drop off before converting. Now let's look at measuring effectiveness. Without measurement, you're just guessing. Each funnel stage has its own relevant metrics that tell you whether your content is performing its intended function. For awareness stage content, track traffic sources, social shares, and bounce rates. These metrics indicate whether your content is attracting attention and providing sufficient value to engage new visitors. Pay particular attention to new versus returning visitor ratios and time on page for top of funnel content. High bounce rates aren't necessarily bad at this stage if time on page is also high, indicating that visitors are consuming your content before leaving. For the consideration stage content, monitor time on page, email open rates, and webinar attendance. These engagement metrics reveal whether your deeper content is resonating with leads and building trust necessary for eventual conversion. Track progress metrics like returning visitor frequency and email click-through rates to assess whether prospects are moving towards decision readiness. And then for decision stage content, focus on conversion rates, average order value, and churn rates. These bottom line metrics directly connect your content to revenue outcomes. Pay special attention to assisted conversions, prospects who consume multiple content pieces before purchasing, and these reveal the true path of your funnel that your customers will take. Attribution modeling becomes crucial for understanding which content pieces influence purchase decisions. Simple last click attributions often undervalue top of funnel. Simple last click attributions often undervalue top of funnel content that initiated the customer journey. Consider implementing multi-touch attribution models that assign particular or partial credit to all touch points in the conversion path. Choose the right tools to make measurement much easier. Google Analytics helps you track user behavior and identify funnel drop-off. Set up goal funnels in Google Analytics to visualize exactly where prospects abandon the journey. Then create content specifically designed to address those drop-off points. Heat map tools like Hostjar visualize exactly how users interact with your content, revealing which sections engage readers and which are typically skipped. This information is invaluable for optimizing content structure and identifying points of confusion or disinterest. CRM platforms like HubSpot allow you to monitor lead progression and sales alignment, connecting content consumption to actual revenue. The most sophisticated organizations use lead scoring models that assign point values to specific content interactions, helping sales teams prioritize leads based on engagement patterns. This doesn't need to be complex, but a good overview of content performance is essential. Content measurement should be both quantitative and qualitative. Metrics tell you what is happening, but customer feedback tells you why. So implement brief surveys at key funnel stages to understand how your content influenced the decision making. Questions like, what information were you hoping to find? Did this content provide you with the answers to your questions? And these sort of questions provide context that numbers alone cannot. Set clear KPIs for each funnel stage before launching new content initiatives. These benchmarks provide the context needed to determine whether performance is strong, average, or poor relative to expectations. According to Content Marketing Institute, only 43% of B2B marketers measure content marketing return on investment, putting those who do at a significant competitive advantage. And finally, close the loop between measurement and creation. Implement a regular review process where performance data directly informs your next content calendar. Double down on what works, fix or replace what doesn't, and continuously test new approaches based on audience feedback and engagement data. So before we wrap up, let me share some common pitfalls and mistakes to watch out for when implementing your content strategy. Many marketers overload their content pipeline publishing without a clear goal or audience segment in mind. This more is better approach typically leads to diminishing returns and exhausted resources. Quality consistently outperforms quantity in content marketing. According to Orbit Media, the average blog post now takes up to 4 hours to create, up from 2.5 hours in 2014. Yet many companies still prioritize volume over depth and quality. Using AI now, this could speed up the process a lot, but make sure that it is good quality that the AI puts out and reflective of your company or your brand's perspectives. Others ignore SEO updates, leading to outdated or irrelevant content that fails to perform. Search algorithms change constantly, and AI search has made a huge impact in this area, so content that ranked well 2 years ago may be virtually invisible today. Implement a regular content refresh process to update statistics, examples, and keywords in your highest potential pieces. Another frequent mistake is ignoring audience needs by failing to A/B test headlines, call to actions, or even content formats. Even small changes can dramatically impact performance. One subscription service I worked with increased trial signups by 21% simply by testing different headline formats for their decision stage landing pages. The content itself remained identical, only the framing changed. And in a similar way, not segmenting email lists for personalized nurturing means missed opportunities for connection. Generic email blasts that ignore funnel stage or persona differences typically generate poor results. According to research by Campaign Monitor, segmented email campaigns produce 760% more revenue than one-size-fits-all campaigns. And most surprisingly, many companies neglect to post-purchase content like onboarding guides or loyalty programs that could dramatically increase customer lifetime value. The funnel doesn't end at purchase. It extends into onboarding, adoption, and advocacy. In subscription businesses especially, customer retention is far more profitable than acquisition. Creating dedicated content for existing customers builds loyalty and encourages referrals, complementing the virtuous cycle of the marketing funnel. Another common mistake to avoid is creating content in silos, where marketing produces content without input from sales or customer success teams. These frontline departments have valuable insights about customer questions and objections that should inform your content strategy. So try to implement regular customer feedback sessions where customer-facing teams can share the questions they're hearing and then to build the content they need to address them. Many organizations struggle with content distribution, creating valuable assets that never reach their intended audiences. The best content strategy balances creation and distribution, ensuring that every piece reaches its maximum potential audience through owned, earned, and paid channels. And please be aware of trend chasing that distracts from funnel fundamentals. Yes, new platforms and formats emerge consistently, but they should supplement rather than replace your core content strategy. Before jumping on the latest content trend, ask yourself, how does this fit into our existing funnel? Which stage and persona does it serve? If you can't answer those questions clearly, it may be a distraction rather than an enhancement to your content marketing strategy. Remember that content marketing is never truly done or finished. Commit to continuous improvement by regularly auditing content performance and refreshing outdated pieces. Make use of feedback loops like customer surveys or sales team insights to consistently refine your strategies. The most successful content marketers view their work as an ongoing experiment, consistently testing new approaches while optimizing what already works. Take an empathy-driven approach by anticipating audience needs at each stage and ask yourself, what questions do they have right now and what concerns might be holding them back? Then align your content with the emotional triggers most likely to resonate at that specific moment in the buyer's journey. The best content marketers think like psychologists, understanding that purchase decisions are driven by emotion and justified by logic. Your content should address both aspects, providing rational justification while tapping into deeper motivations like success, security, or belonging. So, build a content ecosystem that grows your audience, building loyalty and referrals over the long term. The most valuable customers aren't one-time purchasers, but lifetime advocates who bring others into the funnel, into your business. So creating dedicated content for customer success and advocacy completes the cycle and ensures sustainable growth. So whatever type of content you create, always tie it back to your brand's core values and unique positioning. Consistency across your funnel builds trust and reinforces your distinctive place in the market. Content funnels aren't just marketing tactics. They're relationship building tools that guide prospects from first introduction to lasting loyalty. And by understanding the psychological journey your customers take and providing exactly the right content at the right moment, you transform casual buyers into committed customers and passionate advocates. I've added links to the description of this video in my bio with a bunch of tools that will help you improve your marketing reach and engagement. Check it out. They'll definitely help you get your marketing on track.
Own your industry. Build a reputation as the most trusted expert and leader in your niche. Get more reach, more impact, and better results. Visit marketmagnet.us.